Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
What's up, family? Welcome to the Black Body Man Radio Show. I'm your host, Brother Mike. We've had a little technical difficulties, so I appreciate you guys' patience and staying there with us. But as usual, we are here, and we are here to represent. So I want to welcome my partners in consciousness, my co-host, the lovely Miss Janice. How you doing today, Miss Janice?
Very well.
Very well?
Yes.
And as always, our awesome team member, Miss Samantha Glam by Sam Dennis.
I like that title.
I know you do, right? How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? All right, so off the top, we have an announcement. We are happy to announce that we are broadcasting live on Periscope effective today. So what's up, Periscope world? We want to let y'all know you can catch us on there as well. So, ladies.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
Well, of course, I'm coming off a birthday weekend. So.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Nice.
So, of course, my weekend was great. That's
your
good.
Weekend was great? Do anything exciting?
All I can say is it was all good.
It was all good?
All of it.
Do any shopping? I know women like to shop.
Man, I went on a shopping spree.
Okay.
Ring the bell for that.
Shopping spree.
On my birthday.
That's what's up, Miss Janice. I wish somebody take me on a shopping spree.
Didn't pay for anything.
Didn't pay for nothing?
No.
You living your best life.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, that's what's up. Living your best life. So how about you, Miss Dennis? How was your weekend?
I didn't do too much. I was in the house.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much my weekend. I spent some money I didn't have. Right? I'm black. I'm supposed to. That's about it. Nothing exciting with my weekend as well. So anyway, today we got a great show for you guys. We are going to be going over the 7 attributes of a good black woman. Now this is from Sister Shahrazad Ali. She has a book called The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. She also has another book called The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. So this is out of the first book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. So she had a video that she put on Facebook where she goes over the 7 attributes of a good black woman. You know, now this is based on her experience, her opinion, you know, which I feel is valid because she's a black woman. You know, like her opinion's valid. But before we get into it, what we got going on in current events?
What if I heard the black officer that beat the guy up for not showing ID went up on charges?
Oh yeah.
The Baltimore officer.
Right. What do we think about that?
I think that was pretty quick. If we can, you know, get justice done like that in all these cases, it would be wonderful.
Okay.
I feel some kind of way just because it's a black officer and now they're so quick to the punch.
Right.
But everybody else, it's like, oh, we're not going to press charges.
Right.
Oh, we're not going to do nothing
and
about it.
of course, you know, that's the point that I'm going to point out, right? Like, it's not that I don't think that brother deserves some type of punishment, right? Because what he done was wrong. He should be punished. Whether it's as severe as losing your job and then getting first degree and second degree assault, that's a little debatable, right? But the bigger issue for me is the fact that look what happens when a black cop does it.
Right.
All he did was beat somebody up. Not that it's cool, but he didn't kill nobody. He didn't even tase him.
Right.
Didn't hit him with a billy club. Didn't do none of that. And he up shit creek without a paddle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? White cops out here killing brothers and sisters left and right.
But that all happened within like days of like it actually happening. That's the crazy part.
Right. Right. So to me, it's just another wake up call. Wake up. It's real out here. So what else? Anything else in current events? Oh, what about the guy that got arrested? Was it the airport?
Yeah,
the white guy?
Yeah.
White privilege going wrong. What did he say? You're treating me like a black person. That's insane. You know? But what does it show?
That they're aware, that they know
talk
what's
to me.
going on.
Talk to me.
For you to
They
even
all
say
aware.
that, you know, like you get treated differently than a black person. You know.
Exactly.
That's you acknowledging it and then being like, oop, I said that.
And he was offended by it. Like,
Right.
how dare you treat me like a black person? Wow. But when he see it happen to us, it's like, oh, you know, you shouldn't have ran.
Yeah, and you
Shouldn't have resisted.
You notice at the end of all of that, he was still allowed to go his merry way.
Was he really? I
Was
didn't see
he?
the whole thing.
I didn't see the end of the video, so they released
They
him.
just didn't let him. He couldn't get on the plane,
Ah,
but he didn't get arrested.
Now, you know, had it been one of us,
right.
we would have been held up and on the no-fly list for a while.
You know, if not in a casket.
Yeah,
They hit him with the old catch and release. You know, catch and release.
They did say his behavior was too erratic to fly that day.
Right, which I understand that, you know, like if I see a white person that's acting that way, especially a white man, when I know that the biggest terrorist in the United States
That's
of
what I would
America
say.
has
I'd be more
always
scared of
been
seeing
white
the white
men,
man act like that.
I'd be a little nervous too. You know what I mean? I'd be a little nervous too. So I understand they didn't want him on there. Anything else happening in current events that's worthy of mention on the BBD radio show?
What's the one I was just talking about? I forgot that
Yeah, what
quick.
was you just talking about? Talk to
He
us.
did
Let me
say,
see.
Black businesses were up like 400%.
Yep,
Oh,
that's a good one.
nice. So black businesses are up 400%.
The highest numbers of black entrepreneurs live in Texas, Georgia, California, Florida, and North Carolina.
Sweet.
63% are men and 38% are women. And they all agreed that finding capital was the hardest part of establishing their business.
Of course, because they don't want to loan you money to make money. See, it's their system. So they're willing to give you money to get a car, to get a house, personal loan. But when you want money for a business, that's a little different.
That's too much.
Yeah, that's a little too much. You out here trying to be prosperous. We can't have that. So understandable, right? But that's good though. I'm glad to hear that. See,
Right.
remember I said on several shows, the tables is turning. Just remember that I said that. Okay, as we continue on, you're gonna see some things changing. The Most High is moving through this earth. Okay, so anyway, so as I was saying, today we're gonna go over the 7 attributes of a good black woman according to Sister Shazarad Ali. Y'all can check her out on YouTube. You can see the video. And then she also has got 2 books. The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman and the Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. Now I've read one of the 2. Awesome book. Awesome book. I think it's packed with a lot of knowledge that we either forgot about or we're not paying attention to anymore. But I definitely think her books are a recipe for helping people with their relationships. You know, because Western civilization has interfered with the way that we naturally think when it comes to us being together. Black man, black woman. So she touches on some really good points.
So-
And we'll do a show on the books. We'll do a show. So
in your personal opinion, which one do you think is the most difficult? The black man to understanding the black woman, or the black woman understanding the black man?
It's a good question.
I think they're each for their own reasons.
I think it's more difficult for the black man to
Oh,
understand.
that's
the
what I
black
said. I tried to
woman.
give a nice answer, but he's got to go there.
I do. You know, because we haven't been taught the proper ways of dealing with situations that we may have with a black woman. And vice versa. She hasn't been taught proper ways to deal with situations with her man. But I guess I'm biased.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
So anyway, so everybody tuning in with us today, we would definitely love to hear from the women in the audience today. Participate, comment in. Brothers, we want to hear from you too. You can tell us examples, situations, so forth and so on. But we really want some input today because her perspective is very interesting. I know what I personally feel about it, but I want to see how everybody else feels about it, right? So let's get into it. So this is the 7 attributes of a good black woman by Sister Shazarat Ali. So off the back, what are the 7 virtues? Attributes, right? So the 7 attributes are self-discipline, courtesy, cheerfulness, self-respect, intelligence, cleanliness, and love. What do y'all think about hearing them just straight from the muscle?
Sounds good.
That sounds good? Okay, all right. So let's start with the first one. Self-discipline. So according to Miss Ali, she says a good black woman has self-discipline. In a nutshell, this means self-control. She said the first place to start with is your mouth.
Listen, any further conversation, I'm going to need you to lightly on what you say.
Hey, look. First place to start with is your mouth. That's what she said. Hey, look.
Tread lightly.
That's what she said, you know. So everybody keep that in mind today. This is not my book. This is not my video. I'm not taking the heat for this. Okay? This is another black woman, you know, trying to reach out to her sisters. So she says the self-control starts with your mouth. She said a good black woman can control her mouth. She doesn't have to say everything that comes to her mind. And it's okay if he gets the last word sometimes.
That's good. She said sometimes.
Sometimes. She did say sometimes.
She would have lost me if she said all the time.
Yeah, no, she said sometimes. So the way that hits me is like, he doesn't even have to be the winner. Just give him 2 out of every 10. you know, don't take it all from me. So right off the bat, talk to me, ladies. What do y'all think about that?
I think that's a pretty good one. I think that mouth one that's kind of on target.
That's major.
That's major?
Yeah.
Okay. So are we saying as a consensus that black women have a problem with their mouth? Is that what we saying? Possibilities. So she's saying it's possible, right? Miss
She gonna
Dennis?
come out and admit it.
Miss Dennis?
I do think it's a problem. I've seen it. I don't agree with it.
Okay.
We need help.
Okay, all right. That's what Sister Ali's saying. For the record, of course, I agree with it. You know, it is what it is. Some things need to be tightened up. I think that might be one of them.
The mouth is out of control.
So she says, the good black woman does not cuss in public. And she works on not cussing at all.
Damn.
Oh, we ruffling some feathers today.
Yeah, because my mouth is terrible.
Because, see, I need y'all, you know, to give this input. I know what I feel, but I don't be biased, you know. They ain't going to value my opinion too much. Like, oh, well, he's a dumb man, so of course he feels that way, right?
As a black black woman, I get a little ashamed when I hear some women mouth in public.
Right.
As a black woman, I be ashamed.
I do too, and I'm a man. I do too.
Words coming out of their mouth.
What about you?
Being somebody that curses a lot, I try and work on it, but it's never like directed in like a negative manner towards somebody. Like I would never like curse somebody out. Like that's just not in my nature or my personality to do.
Okay.
But my mouth is a little bit of a potty mouth.
And I think you tapping into something else too, because you're right. I don't think she's applying it just to basic words. I think she's also applying it, like you said, when you're in a situation and you're arguing with somebody. Do our women feel like this is something good for her to do? I cuss his ass out.
A lot of women are proud of that though. They be like, oh, I cursed him out. I gave it.
Very proud of it. Very proud of it. So that's a problem.
And I think it's a problem too, because even for the women who don't take it that far, I think still people are aware that black women tends to go off with the mouth, and they kind of push your buttons to try to get you there.
So they're supporting a stereotype.
Yes.
Okay, so giving support to a stereotype.
For sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely, as a black man, I don't find it to be attractive. I don't. I think it's very unattractive. Like, I grew up in a time period where women didn't do that. Like, they did it, but they was very reserved with it. So much that when you heard it, it really caught your attention. You know what I mean? Because you hear it, you be like, oh, Miss Johnson. Like, I can't believe you said that, because you never heard Miss Johnson talk like that before, right? So they had some type of tact about them back then. Even when they said it, I don't think they felt too good afterwards. Whereas today, it's turned into some type of empowerment. You know, like I'm a fuss, I'm a cuss. So when I see, you know, black women in public, you know, using a bunch of inappropriate language, it's definitely not impressive to me. And I think it's not queen behavior. I don't think that's how queens get down. Queens don't have to get down like that. That's just my opinion as a black man. She knows how to use appropriate language. But let me read on. She says she doesn't tear her man down with her mouth. She knows that he can't out-argue her. Can't nobody out-argue a black woman. Okay? So she says, I charge us, black women, with nagging our men too much. We keep our man's head so tied up with petty grievances about our personal relationships that he doesn't have time to build a plan of future. Instead, he has to deal with us every day with all of our different moods and emotional roller coasters. We need not to be so petty and vicious with our mouths. Men are not that petty. They are not going to out-argue us. It's been proven that verbal abuse is just as harmful as physical abuse. Talk to me, ladies.
Play a big part.
Uh-oh.
And I'll argue.
Uh-oh.
They know the couple words that they can say to get us on the road.
Right.
And they do that.
Okay, so it's the man's fault that y'all run your mouth. Is that what I'm hearing? That's what it sounds like I'm hearing.
Well, I'm definitely not pushing blame on the man. But I can say that he do allow it a lot.
He does allow it.
So
he does allow it. He does allow it. Now, to play off what you said, that's where I come in as a man. Because I'm going to look at the man and think, well, why do you let your woman talk to you like that? You know? And I'm not saying he has to like do that in a manner where he like disrespecting her, but I'm just saying you can communicate to her like, listen, you're not going to be speaking to me that way. You're not going to talk to me that way. I'm not your child. I am a grown man. But that doesn't be happening like it should.
no, it don't. I've seen instances where, I mean, the women are clearly yelling to the top of their lungs at men, and they're out in public.
Right.
And a lot of times, I mean, a few times when I've witnessed it happen, I kind of glanced over at the man. Like,
Right.
Is she about to say something?
What's going on? Like,
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I'm looking at the man like,
it's shocking.
you gonna check her?
Bruh,
or-
you gonna say something?
You gonna say something? So I'll read a few comments. So Martez Wares, what's up, Marty? Says, cussing takes away from the beauty of any woman. It's not attractive at all. Good comment. I like that. See, he's on my page. It's just not attractive at all. You know what I mean? It's just something that tears away at her beauty when you see that mouth is just foul, right? Whereas, what's up, Marty? Says, all right, so we have a comment from Miss Talisha Johnson. She says, women need to take pause before responding. Taking a pause allows you to think before reacting, which could change the dynamics of the conversation. Mr. Cav Little, what's up, Cav? So Cav says so true. Good point. Good point. A pause probably would help, especially if you deal with the reality. Women tend to be a little more emotional than men. So immediately, if the man does something, or anybody in this case, that gets them emotions up real high, boom, she just explodes on you.
Yeah, because you also have to remember, you know, women deal with that little voice in their head as well.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that little voice. Why don't
The
you put
argument
me
with
in on
yourself.
That little voice.
It's all coming in clear now.
There are a lot of times when women are trying to keep their composure.
Right.
They do. They try. I mean, some women try really hard. They do.
And they
But,
just haven't mastered it.
yeah, they just go back and forth with that voice.
Meditation, ladies. Meditation. Okay, so what about this? She says, I charge black women with nagging our men too much. We keep our man's head so tied up with our petty grievances about our personal relationships that he doesn't have time to build or plan our future.
Now, I do agree with that.
You agree with that?
Yes,
Okay.
That's the one, you know, feel we always trying to tell our black men be more productive with work. And, you know, try to, you know, focus more on work. But we,
Okay.
I know, when I say we, you know,
You know what came to mind when I read that part right there? There was a video that a sister had put up on Facebook. It was like a couple years ago. But she was basically speaking about this, and she was talking to black women. And she was using her grandparents as an example. And she said she remembers when her grandfather would come home from work, that the grandmother wouldn't immediately bombard him with all the things she was unhappy about with her day. Instead, she opened the door for him. He had his food ready. Any notes that she needed to tell him about bill collectors or whatever, she would write on a paper and then set the paper on his end table near his recliner where he sits back and eats his food. And she was like, once she found out how his day was, you know, hey honey, how was your day? You know what I mean? I got some food ready for you. And then once he's in the house for like an hour or so and he's relaxed, then she would come at him and say, you know, here's what's going on. You know what I mean? This is what I'm a little upset about today. So what she was making a point at with the video is that back in her grandmother's days, women understood, black women understood the struggle of the black man throughout his day. Remember, the black man's going out into a world every day that hates him. Hates him and doesn't want him to do well. So at the end of that day, he comes home to what he believes is going to be the one place where he's the king, right? Where he's, you know, this is my family, I take care of him, I work hard for him, and instead he comes home and gets bombarded with whatever. You know, I thought you got off at 4:30, it's 5:20, you know, and you ain't even stopped by Walmart and get that, you know. So that's what she was getting at, you know, that the older folks didn't do that. You know, they did not lose grip of what that black man was facing each and every day that he went out into this world. So she didn't want to add on to that when he came home. She wanted to wait, get him relaxed and make him feel appreciated.
Feed him first.
You know, yeah, and then kind of go at him then.
so do you think we lost that compassion?
I do. I think black women have lost that compassion completely, but it's not their fault. You guys have been victimized through the subliminal training that comes through this society. Everything from televisions to movie. See, they're not going to show you black women being that way.
That's looked at as like a negative thing.
Right.
Now it's like you're a punk if you like cater to your man, or
there you go.
feed him kind of
there
things.
you go. That's what I'm saying. So let's read some comments here. Be Exposed Radio, our manager Nate. Nate says women need to realize they don't own their children or their significant other. Woo! That's powerful, Nate. That's powerful. And Nate, that is going to come back up, because that's going to come back up by the end of the show. That comment right there, very true. Kev Little says they nag us right out the door, then blaming the man for the breakup, calling us dogs. Okay, Kev.
Look at you.
Kev.
Right.
Kev is representing. So I mean, but overall, do you think she has a valid point here when she says we keep our man's head so tied up in petty grievances about our personal relationship?
Absolutely.
He doesn't have time to plan your future. You know what I mean? To say, this is what we're going to do, baby. We're going to invest this money, you know, we're going to get another job or whatever. Because every day, he has to come home and put her back together, because she fell apart all throughout the day. He got to come home and put her back together. Babe, you all right? Everything okay? You know? So y'all think that's valid? Or?
That is valid.
I did. That's definitely a valid one.
Okay, all right. The ladies said that that's valid.
I do believe that, and a little less being petty.
Right.
You know, I do believe the man will be able to focus a little bit more.
Okay.
on the future.
I think so too. Definitely as a man, I definitely think so. Like I said, I think somewhere along the line, some black women have forgot the plight of the black man. You know, because see, we're in a system now where black women are like the top educated, right? Which is wonderful. But don't forget, he's letting you do that. And he's not always letting the black man do that. You know, so if me and this woman both get master's degrees, same school, graduate the same day, right? Get the same job, start on the same day. 10 years from now, she'll be my boss, because he's going to let her move through the ranks. He ain't going to let me go but so high. And see, and then he's figured out that a lot of independent black women struggle with being submissive to their man. They just can't do it. Black women have equivocated independence to not needing a man. And it's two totally different subjects. It's like saying I have an apple, I don't need an orange. It has nothing to do with the apple. Yes, I mean?
Then
So yeah.
Even on top of that, you just have to remember to be a supporter instead of a distraction to the man. Like, be more of a support system.
Right. And we just got a comment on
I
that.
was about to say.
So we got a comment from Ramona Tolbert Glover. What's up, Mona? She says, women such as my grandmother and mother showed me how a man is treated. The man is the king and the woman is the queen. He rules, she supports. God damn it. Mona, I love you.
Oh my goodness.
That is the truth. We've lost grip of that. Money has somehow now made the woman feel that she's not going to be supportive. Okay, but look, we got to take our first commercial break. It's going to be a good show. Stay with us, BBD Radio Show.
Everybody got something to say today.
Yeah, I love it. That's what we want.
Now, I'm not gonna say all Aries don't know, but
It's just the one you had. That was
just
just.
a particular one, right? You know. Yeah. But it's always something that you can
Go ahead, listen. Can you recollect any signs that you might not get right?
October 15th or 16th. What is that?
And Libras.
See, I've had some good Libras and I had one really bad Libra, but he was white, so he with his back anyway. So I don't.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Demonstrate. You got to demonstrate the back.
No. Ain't no way.
Not the dirt. How they bust? Let me show how they bust.
And they want to cry afterwards. I mean, what the f is the point of the tears? I mean, I can see you shake, yeah, and shake it off real quick. But you crying? F out of here.
What was he crying for?
Cause baby, this pussy make that. You in? I got that good nasty bitch. The shade.
Oh shit.
McLean's Couch every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Only on BeExposedRadio.com.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
The BBD Radio Show today, we are talking 7 attributes of a good black woman. But before we get back to it, did you know you can take us with you anywhere? Yeah, so not only can you check us out on YouTube and Facebook, but now if you missed the show, you can download it through a host of apps like Anchor, Spotify, Google, Podcasts, iTunes, and check out all the past episodes. For the full list, go to BeExposedRadio.com and check out the syndication list on the menu bar. Take us with you everywhere you go. So anyway, so back to these virtues. Okay. All right, so let me read another comment here. This is Miss Latrice Fellows. Thanks for tuning in with us. She says, encouraging and uplifting each other. Women should be the neck and let him be the head. Still allow him to be the man. I agree. You know, I think our women in particular have been duped by this society into believing that you don't need a man. So I'm going to explain the difference, right? White women want the white man to share power with her. The key word is share. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, she adopted black women into her feminist movement, but she convinced y'all to want to have all the power. See how that works? She's not that silly. Mm-hmm. The white woman knows she cannot survive in this world without her king in place. Mm-hmm. She took that away from y'all. Black women believe they can survive in this world without having their black kings. And you can. No? You can. Now I'm gonna give you the proof of it, right? Now you see during Trump's campaign, mm-hmm. the foul, wicked stuff that Trump said, you know, grab him by the you know what, right? Mm-hmm. But he still got 53% of white women's vote.
That was surprising.
See? Not to me, though. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? They're not that far-fetched. They know in order for that woman to have the power that she wants, she got to make sure her king is still in place. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean? So black women have been tricked into believing they can make it without having a man. And I don't mean like you literally can't make it. We know you survivors and mothers. Mm-hmm. Right. But I'm saying as far as happiness and building a family, so forth and so on. They tricked y'all into believing I got the money, I got the education, I don't need no man. And it's not true. And that's why a lot of educated black women are single. Now, of course, they tell you they like being single and, you know, all that good stuff. But I'm saying after all the trips to Miami are done and you didn't went to all the islands and all that.
They said.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's natural pecking order. The Most High, whoever you believe him to be, put us here to be with each other. Didn't put us here for one to say I don't need the other. I can tell you as a man, we need our women. We need black women. You know, I'm a man, I need a woman. You know what I'm saying? But they convinced y'all of something different. So anyway, let's keep it moving. So that was number one. So the first one was self-discipline, right? So do we agree that this should be something that is a part of a black woman's attributes?
Yes.
Self-discipline. Okay. So, number 2, courteousness. The good black woman is courteous. She says, "Thank you, baby. I appreciate every effort you make. Try harder. I support you. And thank you. I know you did your best." She says that's a whole new language to black women. That's what she said. She said that's a whole new language to black women. So she says saying these things like that throughout the day, course of the day, to a man that you're currently with or want to be with will make both of your lives easier. We can't get it, black women, if we don't give it. We keep wanting them to give something to us that we refuse to give to them. Talk to me. Is that true?
It could be.
Okay.
So she's saying like we're not appreciative enough.
Right. She's saying, you know, you're not being courteous to your man. You know, when your man does stuff, you're treating him like, well, that's what you were supposed to do.
So we're
which by the way, may be true, right? But that still shouldn't stop you from saying, baby, thank you for doing what you did. I appreciate that. And I know you tried your hardest. Just try a little harder. You can do it. The encouragement.
Right.
You know, the encouragement. So for me, this taps into, like, I don't feel that black women know where their power's at. Like, they know they're powerful, but they don't quite know all the areas where that power's at. So this is an example of where that power's at. A black woman who is being supportive of a black man, oh, you bring the best out of him. You understand what I mean? Because even if you're above him, say financially, educational wise, so forth and so on, you still showing him that support and not making him feel like he's below you, it may cause him to want to rise to where you at. Because he's seeing, my woman knows she got the education, she makes the money, right? But she still lets me be king, you know what I'm saying? Still treats me right. I want to be a better man for this woman. I want to make myself better.
But how often does that really happen though?
Huh?
How often does that really happen where like a woman feels like even though he's not up to par financially, like they don't often feel like he's even putting forth that effort. So doesn't it take for that man to show like, okay, well, I'm worthy of her thinking so high of me, but not every, you know, man is willing to do that.
True. So it's not for every man.
Right.
It's for the ones who are. Right? So I agree with you. I agree.
But just like the statement, like not every woman is uncourteous, like.
Right. But I think she's looking at a consensus of black women's behavior. Of course, we know this doesn't fit every woman.
Everybody.
Nothing fits everybody, no matter what the subject is.
True.
But do you think this would apply more to the majority or the minority? Let's ask that.
Maybe the majority, but I believe, I mean, black women know their powers. They just may misuse them in some areas.
I like the way you said
that. They
that.
are aware.
Yeah, because remember, y'all mothers. Black women are mothers. Black women are the healers. Black women are the mothers of civilization, first on earth. You understand what I mean? Like, all women come from you guys. So you definitely have power, you know? I mean, think about a boy. When a boy is young, right? His mother is who takes care of him when he gets sick and things like that. So as a grown man, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, she kind of starts to play that role a little bit, you know? So if he's down, remember, keeping in mind what a black man is up against in this society. You get what I'm saying?
And I do understand her saying, like, we want it and it's something we're not given, but it's something we want.
Right.
But we're not giving it back in return. I understand.
And that's what she's saying. She's saying, you know, we expect this from them. We expect them to support us, compliment us, and say, babe, you did awesome.
Right.
You know what I mean? You did an awesome job, but not giving that in return.
And say thank you, and, you know, they're grateful and appreciative. But like you say, on the other hand, we're just sitting there like, well, this is what you're supposed to do.
So I'm going to read some of the comments. Latrice Fellows says, men like compliments just as much as women. True. Sister Summy says Proverbs 31. Miss Ramona Tolbert Glover says, a little encouragement goes a long way. I uplift my king because I adore that he uplifts me. Nice. That's how it works, right? Miss Latrice Fellows says, Babe, you smell nice. I appreciate you. See, yeah, like little stuff. Look, listen, all y'all out there listening, men are shallow. We eat that shit up when y'all give us compliments because we're not used to getting it. We're used to giving, you know what I mean? So we a sucker when your woman look at you like, oh, babe, you look nice today.
Good today.
Yeah, you over there like, okay, did I do it right? You know, so it works. It works.
It definitely works.
It works, right? Miss Johnson says, send him a sweet text during the day. It shows him even when he's not near you, he's being thought of. True. I like that. I like that. Sister Summy says, the men are leaders, the women are the prize. Woo! That's some fire right there.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Man, I expected a dude to say that. A sister put that on. Women are the prize. Women should remain nurturing and the black man should be humble. Yes, in both regards, pride goes before the fall. I like that. I like that. Yes, y'all are the prize. You know, I don't know if men speak on it, but I can tell you, as a black man, if you have a good black woman, that man's proud of that. And it ain't about how the rest of the world sees her, whether she's fitting the standards of society with being pretty and beautiful and all that. He thinks she's the most beautiful person on the planet. And he's not basing that just on her looks. He's basing that on knowing he got him a queen. So y'all definitely are the prize. And I believe, you know, men will protect their woman, you know what I mean, with their life when they got a woman that helps encourage them, make them feel a certain way, so forth and so on. But I'll play the devil's advocate. You're right with what you said. It doesn't fit all men. All men are not stepping up to the plate, you know, and deserving that, right? Got you.
But what stops a woman from being able to be like that and show that appreciation and say those things?
I think it's a lot of different things, but it has a lot to do with adopting Western civilization's ways all the way into our relationships. You get what I'm saying? Like, here's my take. This is just my take, right? If you look at white women have been told since they were born to marry rich, marry corporate, marry a lawyer, right? Marry somebody with money. Black women were not being told that because black people didn't have money, right? So your grandparents, great-grandparents or whatever, you know, they were taught, you find a good black man that works. I don't care where he works at. Long as he works and he's a provider, a protector, right? He's the leader. You understand what I mean? These other qualities, right? That is what black women looked for. This is why the further you go back in the generations, you find more successful relationships. As it moves on, they convince black women to start taking on the qualifications of white women. The problem is there were no black men who were corporate, lawyers, right? Bank owners, VP and all that. So you're looking for a needle in the haystack. And in the process of doing that, you may miss the guy that works at Walmart who would have worshipped the ground you walked on. But you'll miss it because for her, she makes $180,000 a year. He works at Walmart. To the average black woman today, he's not even qualified.
He's not on her level.
He's not qualified, you know? See, they got y'all on the way that they get down. But it doesn't work for us. You know what I mean? It doesn't work for us. So it's nothing wrong with women being independent, doing their thing, getting educated, running their business or getting their jobs, but you cannot substitute that for now thinking, well, I gotta have a man that's on that level. You know what I mean? I can't deal with a man that's on this level because that was never our criteria. You know what I mean? That's their criteria. So that's my take on it. Ding! All right, so go ahead.
And mine is, you know, for more women to be courteous, they have to do the first attribute first, and they have to learn self-discipline. Because you have to shut your mouth long enough to pay attention to your man, to even compliment him or anything.
Right.
Your mouth's steadily going.
Yeah, you can't listen and talk at the same time.
You can't?
No. One or the other. Take your choice. So this was valid? Courteousness. Let me see here. Yeah, saying things like that throughout the day can help the relationship go better. So do we think that black women, just in general, are courteous?
As a whole?
The majority?
Majority.
Minority again.
Y'all over here scrambling. what's going on? Y'all scrambling.
Because I can only speak of what I see and witness every single day.
Oh, true.
So
speak to it.
On that note, I have to say, no.
She said,
no. No? Okay. Millennial, your generation's a little different. What do you think?
We're not courteous.
Not courteous. Okay, so.
And I'm speaking this on the older and the younger generation.
I think the younger is worse.
Yes.
Why?
Because y'all are just like, really?
No, y'all.
I mean, okay, let me say it like this. Y'all are being bombarded with ratchetness. Whether it's television, whether it's Facebook. So they are literally making y'all think this behavior cool. Look,
I never understood
she acts like that. She's a millionaire. You get what I'm saying? So that's making you think this is not too bad.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Latrice Fellows says a lot of black men today don't know how to lead. That's the discouraging part. I agree.
Very true.
There are a lot of black men that don't know how to lead. I agree.
Very true.
I agree. I can't deny you that. I'm not even going to be biased on it. That is true. We got work to do. We got work to do too.
A lot of work.
Ooh. But today we talking about y'all. All right. So we don't think in general black women are courteous. What about the view that society has on them? Say all races, right? How are black women being viewed? Are they being viewed as being courteous and having self-discipline?
Not at all.
Not at all.
A little bit.
Not at all.
Okay. So this area represents opportunity for improvement. Cool. Okay. So we believe courteous is a good one. All right. Next one. Self-respect. The good black woman has self-respect. She doesn't have to go out naked to get the attention of a man. Uh-oh. She says, I have sisters tell me all the time, all he thinks about is my body. And she says, I say to them, well, won't you show him something else? Talk to me, ladies. Is that valid?
That is valid. Very much so.
She doesn't have to go out naked to get the attention of a man.
That always baffled me how women be like, well, all he wants to do is, sleep with me. Well, that's what you're putting out there.
That's pretty much what she's saying with that, right? She's saying show him something else.
Right.
What do you expect from him when that's all you showing him is your body? Now, for me personally,
that's all. I mean, but you have to remember. Even with the guy, pretty much that's the first thing they see. That's
true.
The first thing they see is your body.
True. And I think that's why she's saying, why don't you show him something else? See, she's kind of acknowledging, I know what he sees, but it's going to be up to you to show him something different. So if you get months into that relationship and you feel like this all he trying to do is just hit all the time, right? She's saying, well, show him something different, Well, show him something different. Intrigue him in different ways.
I understand that, but I'm talking about in the beginning when you're trying to get him.
I think that's everybody though, right? Like at the beginning of courting someone, all you have is the physical. Because you don't know them yet. So the physical is what's making you say, I think I want to find out his name, find out her name.
Right.
So that's kind of all you got in the beginning, right?
And the physical is making him say, like, oh, yeah, no, she can keep going.
She can keep going?
In that first moment, you decide.
So I'm just saying, I don't believe that the women that are coming out half naked are just, yeah, they are.
I appreciate the value.
She tried to give it to him. She tried to help.
She tried to get it in. All right, let's read another comment here. So Ms. Johnson says, those same women that have the high-powered jobs and the men that may not have the equal pay or that type of position, these type of men are scared to approach these type of women, so it's not all on the women. Okay, good point. Good point. I agree. Women can intimidate men. Now, let's talk about why, though. Why would that intimidate a man?
Because he feels less than? like a woman on that level is going to make him feel inadequate.
Bingo. So it goes back to what we said before. Black women have already put the word out that if you ain't up on their level,
don't even bother.
Don't even bother. Copy. So they had already put the word out, you know. But let's take a break. Stay with us. BBD Radio Show. We'll be back.
So we're pretty much saying you're darn if you do and darn if you.
Here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like, you do want it to work. So you're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know. So you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work, and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it. Eventually, it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely pray on it. You hope for the best, you know, because like nobody wants to spend the rest of their life alone just because a particular relationship didn't work out, but you had this beautiful creature as a result of it, you know. But you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
but what if you?
I'm just saying. So I take that back.
What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Do you let?
You don't like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money. It's unrealistic.
I'm sorry.
It's unrealistic. Like, don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this flashback from Sunset Soul Radio.
Sometimes, let me say this, sometimes people did things a certain way because that's all they knew.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Talking 7 attributes of a good black woman. This was put in the atmosphere by Sister Shazarat Ali. She is the author of The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And we will do a show on that book for you guys to give you a little bit more insight on what she's getting at. So we was going over self-respect. So let's talk about the first part of it. The good black woman has self-respect. She does not need to go out naked just to get the attention of a man. My perspective is, of course, it's double-sided, right? Because as a man, of course, I don't mind seeing this, okay? I don't mind seeing this. I don't want to act like you know. But for ladies, you got to understand, even when men see that, and we admire it, and we like it, but we're still also thinking, it's cool, long as that ain't my girl.
Right. I was just about to say, does that change your view on, like, if you're going to pursue a relationship with a woman? Based on the fact of how she looks when you first meet her? Like, does that change your outlook?
It can. Because I think we're in a day and age with our women where black women have been reduced to believing that their biggest asset is their body. And that's why everybody's twerking. That's why everybody wears promiscuous clothing. As much skin as they can expose to the public as possible. And again, don't get it twisted. I'm a dude. I'm sitting back chilling. Like, nice. Scrolling through, right? But at the same time, I'm like, they couldn't be my woman.
Oh, man.
No. So, I mean, what y'all take on it?
I believe that's true. I don't really understand. I mean, I do understand why women come out dressed like that. They want to be looked at.
Right. They want some attention.
They want attention.
That's obvious.
I think the women that dress naked, of course, they're coming out, they seeking attention at that point. But I also believe you could show them something different too and dress down and still find a good man as well.
Yeah, well, from a man's perspective, right, if you have that type of promiscuous appearance, of course, naturally, that's going to talk tap into his lustful side, right? Versus because it's a way to be classy and sexy at the same time, right? So some women exude that. The man's approach on that woman may be, I want to get to know her a little bit, because like she seems to really be on point, you know, versus seeing the little cut off shorts and, you know, your breasts all pushed in the air. He's thinking something different. He's thinking something different. And again, I believe it's Western civilization that got our women on this, because black women weren't always like that. They wasn't like that. So let me read a couple comments here, though.
They wasn't always dressing like hoochies.
No, they wasn't. They were putting black fists in the air back in the 60s with turtlenecks on. Right? So Sister Summy says, don't be smarter than him, though. It will turn him off. Always make him think it's his ideal, like the white and Spanish women do. That's an interesting point.
I don't know how I feel about that comment.
Okay, talk to me.
Make him feel like do I have to dumb myself down to make him feel better?
I guess it would be tailored towards the type of man he is. You know, maybe if you saw that was his insecurity hot spot, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I don't like
so you don't agree with that? No. Okay, all right. I can't say I agree with it either.
Yeah.
However, I do get it.
I get it, but I don't agree with it.
You know, I get it. I get it. What about you, Miss Janice?
I get it.
You get it? Okay.
I understand, but I don't know. I agree with it, but I get it.
Okay, Miss Glover says, it's sad that a woman would bypass a man the opportunity to get to know her based upon what's in his wallet and know what's in his heart. And just because he's at the current status doesn't mean he can't or won't change. See, that's what I'm getting at. There was a time period where the black woman didn't need her black man to be pre-packaged. Right? She didn't need him to always already have the degree, the job, the money, the car. She knew I can get him on that level. You understand what I mean? As he sees how I love him and cherish him, and he's cherishing me, it's going to make him want to do better. And I'm going to start planting some seeds in his head, right? And help him grow. Black women don't want to do that no more. And see, and that goes into, remember, westernized civilization has now let the black women move up. See, when they wasn't letting y'all do that, oh, y'all was on our squad. Because we all shared the same, you know, grind. But once the Caucasian said, no, let's start letting the black woman slip through the cracks a little bit. He knew that would cause separation within your relationship, within your family. Every black person breathing has a family member in their family that got educated that other people in the family now don't like and say she thinks she's better than us. You get what I'm saying? So there's your proof right there. They'll call her bougie, you know, all kinds of stuff. So, hey, you know, that's how it goes. Copy. So that's my take on it. So we up on another break. Stay with us, BBD Radio Show. Yeah, that's in everything.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Black by Demand Radio Show.
2 years ago. If you broke that bike and it don't work, that's on you, brother. I suggest you get that toolkit out back and then start working with it, right? Yes. So my son's looking at me like, wow. And I broke down to him how we had got fixing flat tires down to a science. You understand what I mean? Sticking the tube in the water. Right? Talk to me, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, critical thinking. And see, and we look at that now and like kids, they not as, you know, they not as on hands like we were back in the day.
That's because nowadays you don't have to put the bikes together anymore. They can come assembled.
Yeah, everything's coming assembled.
In the store, they ask you like if you want it already assembled.
Right.
Back then, you just got the box with 1,000,000 pieces.
Right, and today I don't think they could work with that.
It's just like the thought process. Nowadays, you get a bike that's already put together. Now, when you were younger, you had to put this bike together.
You got to put it together.
That basically closes your mind into learning how to do something. Now.
Yes.
Now you're giving it something. So, okay, you take this, and this is what it is.
Right.
So now we have to run with this instead of teaching the child. This is how you put this together, so you see the result as this.
Right.
So
Critical thinking. I like that.
Check out
So
this
look,
snippet
not
from
to cut
the
you off,
new
Mr.
season
Denise,
of
but let's
Talk
go to our
Lately
first
with
commercial break,
Monty
and then we're
about
gonna come
Jennifer Holliday.
Anyway, let's get back to
Yeah, well, what I wanted to say is that I can understand 100% where Jennifer Holliday is coming from, and that's sort of kind of where my 20% came from. When I basically came out and said who I voted for, I received a lot of backlash. Even on my own talk show, which comes on every Monday from 5 to 7 p.m., I was called a coon. Okay, yeah, shout out for the plug. But yeah, someone actually, they told CJ Bernie that I was a coon, and that really hurt me. I've been called everything from a fat whatever and everything, but someone actually commented on his Facebook
I didn't even say that. That's kind of
called me a coon, but it's like it's crazy because I just feel like someone like Jennifer Holliday. I understand why she stepped down, but I'm kind of upset with her because I think she still should have performed. If you want to jump out there, then stand in your truth. Don't let no one stop you or change your mind about anything. And listen, no one put a gun to her head and made her sign on for that. But it just seems like, she was basically bullied.
But see, the thing about it is they will put a gun to her head to not do it.
I don't think so.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're talking self-respect of the 7 attributes, right? All right, so here's the other part. She says a good black woman can pull her dress down without thinking that it devalues her. She doesn't have to use her body because she has so many other good attributes about herself to get the attention of a man. A good black woman pulls her skirt down. Talk to me, ladies.
That's so not the norm these days.
Definitely not the norm. Do you believe in it, though?
I do.
You do?
I definitely do. And I guess, even with the good black women doing all of this, I guess, I don't know, maybe she was just trying to compete with, all the other women out here that she feels maybe getting all the attention.
That makes a good point.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a point.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I'm sure there's some truth in that because that goes right back to what I said previous. It's Western civilization who's infiltrated the minds, right? So if it's going the way you said, that competition she's looking at is not her. Right.
She gotta do all those things to get her a good man.
Right. But we giving the recipe today. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to do that to get a good man. You can pull your skirt down. It won't devalue you. It won't. She says, black women have the power to take all of the sexual charge out of the black community by simply changing the way that they dress. We have the power and control over that. Doing so won't stop you from being beautiful. It won't stop you from getting a man. It puts things in the right perspective so some other judgments can be made other than the physical. It doesn't take wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to have a sexual reaction. That's the most basic of all reactions. We spend less time doing that, sex, than anything else we do in our life. So that shouldn't be the forefront issue. We know that we're all capable of having sexual reactions.
True.
Talk to me.
I agree.
You believe the first statement? That black women can take the sexual charge out of the black community by simply changing the way that they dress themselves.
I think black women are naturally sexy just based off their shape and their body types.
I agree.
So you don't have to do that much extra to look sexy.
True. Do you think they have the power to take the sexual charge out of the black community? Because I'll tell you something else she said that's along those lines, right? She talked about how black women complain about it not being any good black men. And she's not denying that, right? But she also said, if that's the case, why y'all keep getting pregnant?
Questions that need answers.
Right? Why y'all keep getting pregnant? That's what she says in regards to that.
Yeah, but at this point now, is it even going to help a black woman to change the way she dresses now? Since nowadays so many different people are dressing that way now?
I still think it would.
Okay.
I think it would because I think it's going to take some of the lustful thoughts out of a man.
But it won't put the attention of the man onto another group of women if black women did that?
It may. But those women he probably doesn't want a relationship with. You know, like to him, she's not Miss Right. She's Miss Right now. You get what I mean? Hopefully, right? Whereas, you know, like men don't roll up on, you know, certain dressed women with that ordinary game, I'll call it. You know what I'm saying? Her appearance commands a certain level of respect from a man. You know, take for instance, if you see a Hebrew woman with a head covering or a Muslim woman with her head covering and her dress on, nobody's walking up on them like, shorty, let me holler at you a minute, right? Nobody's doing that, right? But they are going to do that to the ones that are dressed more promiscuous. So I think it commands respect to men straight from the muscle when they see how you are dressed. Your appearance does one of two reactions, you know? Either makes him think lustfully or it makes him think like, you know, I want to get to know her. You know, I want to know more about her. I want to know her name, you know, whatever. So that's kind of my take on that. Do you guys think that black women can and should reduce the sexual charge in the black community by changing the way they dress?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that's been influenced too. Again, we go back to Western civilization. This is why when you look on television, they're not showing you black women dressed in more conservative attire. You know? Now the thing is, to make it worse, they're showing you this on all levels of income. So they're showing you black women dressed promiscuously who live in the projects, and they're showing you black women who dress promiscuously who live in Beverly Hills. True. And they're trying to paint a picture that this is who you are and this is who we want you to be. Stay this way.
But haven't black women always been overly sexualized throughout like the period of time? Like they've always been sexual creatures. Like they've never been looked at as a conservative woman or someone that's, you know, not on that type of time.
And it's because y'all the most beautiful women on the planet. That's what it is. So everybody wants a black woman. You know, even black men who think they don't want a black woman, they do. They just scared. They just scared. That's all that is. They just scared. Okay, so she says, you know, dressing more appropriately, it won't stop you from being beautiful.
That's definitely true.
That shows more confidence. That shows more oomph about yourself if you don't feel like you have to take your clothes off.
Right? Miss Glover says it takes a true queen to raise her standards and not her skirt. Yes, we are naturally sexy. See, that's what I'm talking about. If black women only knew, you ain't got to do none of that. All you got to do is just be you. Miss Christine Brown Clark, what's up, cousin? She says, I agree. Our appearance does send a message. It does. It sends a message. Dave Chappelle did a real funny skit on that. You know, I'll just cover it real quick. It's not going to be funny. I'm not Dave Chappelle, right? But you'll get the point that he was making. So on the skit, he talks about black women saying that to men. Like, just because I'm dressed like this, don't mean you can just look at me like I'm something you can take home tonight. This, that, blah, blah, blah. So Dave said he wanted to make a point to black women. He said, so I went and rented a cop uniform and I stood on the corner of the street and waited for the first black woman to come up to me with a problem going on. He said, and I looked her dead in the face and said, listen, just because I'm dressed this way does not mean that I'm a cop and I can help you. But you get the point that he's making with that. You know, like you can feed yourself all day that just because I'm dressed this way, people don't have to receive me that way. But it's not true. People will receive you that way. If you look like you're promiscuous, you know, you can expect dudes to come at you in a promiscuous manner. You know what I mean? All right, well, let's keep it moving. So that was, what was that, the third one?
Yeah.
So let's see what we up to here. Let's see what we up to. So we did self-discipline, courteousness, self-respect, and now we're moving on to intelligence. Intelligence. The good black woman has intelligence, meaning she knows how to behave properly in the streets. She's not in the wrong place. She says some of our women don't know what else to do with themselves other than go to the bar, the club, or some kind of event. She said they need some activities. Too many of our women think that staying home on the weekend is some sort of sin. Very true. If they don't have a new outfit to wear, they're going to self-destruct. All they're doing with all these outfits is sending money out of the black community because we don't own any clothing factories. Talk to me, ladies.
That's so true.
Is that true?
Yeah.
She hit the nail on the head with that?
Yeah.
So what's up with black women thinking it's a sin to stay home on the weekend? Talk to me, sisters. Why y'all feel that's so sinful? I definitely think they feel like they're missing something. I'm not sure what. Maybe it's some attention.
That could be it.
That could be it?
That could be it.
That's what she says. She said they need activities. She
Like
said
what?
y'all need some activities. Y'all got to get back to knitting and sewing.
What, doing puzzles?
Yeah, doing puzzles. You know, let us men be dumb and bring you vacuum cleaners on your birthday.
But nowadays you have to remember, it's, with the pressure with the girlfriends too. They're like, oh, come on and go home or whatever. Like, so you kind of have that on your back too while you're not staying there.
Miss Janice, that's why you the co-host. That was a lovely point because that's a whole nother show. But I'm just saying, black women have to realize that a lot of the poison that they get in their mind comes from other black women. You let today's black women catch you trying to be a good woman. Oh, they shutting that down. They said, what you mean you gotta ask him if he can go, if you can go? Girl, you crazy. I've been told Tyrone I ain't gonna be here next weekend. Yeah, they're poison. So that plays a part as to why black women stay in this state of mind. Because when they try to be more traditional, other black women attack them. And like you said, they call them a punk, right?
You a sucker.
She a sucker.
You gotta ask permission.
Right. And it bothers them so bad that they'll fire shots at her every time she's around. You know what I mean? She could just be out hanging with them. Girl, can you pass me that drink over there? Girl, I'm way over here. I don't feel like doing it. Yeah, I bet if her man would have asked, she'd have ran over there and got it. See, that's what they do. They start firing shots to try to make other black women feel bad about saying,
Why is that so wrong?
Right, why is it so wrong? Why is it so wrong? And we know that it's not historical with us as a people. So what happened? Who taught us not to be that way? Dun, 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 dun. See, it's that Western civilization. There you go, Nate.
What'd he say?
He let the sound out that I just did. Sound effects. So Ramona says this day and age, staying home is safer. It is. It's safer. See, I came up in a time period, right, where when we were younger, dudes was in the streets and stuff like that. And the dudes who got out of a lot of trouble, it was the dudes who stayed home with their girl. Like, it's dudes that have been like, bruh, I was gonna go last weekend to that party, but my girl did not want me to go. I stayed home, and then he found out there was some craziness that happened.
Stay out of trouble.
And this girl's looking at him like, see, babe, I told you stay home.
It's a win for her, you know it?
Right. But that was in my day. It ain't like that no more. She ain't saying that. She's already there. She got there before him. Babe, we be over in table 7. You get what I'm saying? So it's changed. It's changed. And when dudes would be in the street and then they went through a little trouble, right? Say they did a little bid, come home from jail. Oh, that dude wasn't hanging out with y'all. Like, come on, yo, you hanging out? No. I am staying home with my girl. You understand me? When dudes come home from jail, that is that woman's best time. She knows she about to have him for the next few months because he too scared. He don't want to go back to jail. So I'm saying, what we gonna do, the women ain't home. She ain't home. He talking about, babe, I just want to stay home tonight. Oh, no, I'm not staying home. I got plans. I'm going out.
So that's what I was going to ask. Because, like, do you think the men look at it a certain way for the women, who do have a man at home and still want to be out at the party?
Oh, yeah, men, we definitely look at that a certain way. Nobody wants a party girl. See, dudes will meet a party girl, right? But then once he starts loving her, and having feelings for her, he's going to try to convince her not to be that no more. And it's going to be up to her if she decides to respect that or not. Most of the time, they're not. Because they're going to be like, you met me like this. I mean, strippers say that to men. I was a stripper when you met me. Now yours, you want me to stop? That's what happens.
So even when she's saying, like, we have to know how to behave properly in the streets, is she speaking of, like, when you're out at parties and bars and everything?
Say it again.
Like when she said, for intelligence, we have to know how to behave properly in the streets. Is she speaking of, like, when we're out at bars and parties and clubs? Like,
I think so. I think she's even speaking about being in the streets. You know what I mean? But behavior probably got different levels to it. I mean, think about this. Think about when you see a black woman on Facebook in Burger King fighting, right? That's somebody's daughter, right? That's somebody's wife, somebody's girl, somebody's mother, somebody's cousin. And at that moment, that black woman ain't thinking about none of that. All she's thinking about is whipping that other girl's ass. She ain't got no regard for the other people that this is going to embarrass. Because I can tell you from a dude's perspective, no man wants to be the man where other people are coming like, bruh, get your girl, yo. She out there about to fight somebody. You understand what I mean? And then those type of women, like, it's usually not the first time.
Right.
That's usually their pattern.
because even with the black women, like, even when, you know, when they see intelligence, you know, first thing they're going to reflect is, you know, I have my master's degree. Like,
right.
They're not going as far as behavior, like, what my behavior have to do with my intelligence.
Right. Not understanding that's all a package deal. You know, yeah, that's all a package deal. She says a lot of our black men look at us and know that he may not ever make enough money to give us the lifestyle we want. A man does not want to be with a woman that he constantly has to deny her the things she wants because he can't afford it. That represents failure to him. He feels that he can't be a good provider for her. We can change this by simply being satisfied with less. Now, y'all women, y'all tell me.
Satisfied with less?
Right. She's saying men are being intimidated by certain women because of her habits. She's got to have red bottoms. She's got to have Gucci.
Well, that's materialistic.
She's got to,
like, that's a woman that values the wrong things. As far
but that's what's going on with black women today in this society. Are you not watching television?
Well.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. So that's what they're being shown.
Yeah.
And that's what she's saying. There are going to be men who may love you, want to build with you, but he's going to feel like, I can't afford her. You know what I mean? Like, I only work here. You know, she likes Louis bags and Gucci and all that. So he's just going to be like, you know, I couldn't keep her. You know, high maintenance, as they call it, high maintenance.
I mean, even if she can buy it herself, is he still going to feel that way? Like, even if he can't afford to buy it, but I mean, together they can.
I think he is, because it still makes a man feel less.
Right, like he
if
can't
his
provide
woman
that
has
for
to
her.
buy everything, like every time she want to get dolled up or get cute or whatever, she got to go buy, you know, those sneakers, those shoes, you know, whatever, that dress. So yeah, I think it could still bother him at some point. So that's interesting that she put that in there. She said that represents failure to the man. And I can confirm that as a man. You don't feel successful with your woman if you can't give her the things she wants. You know, every time she says, babe, I just want to get a new purse, you know what I mean? Or can I get these shoes or whatever? Yeah, babe, you know, I can't afford it. They didn't give no overtime this week, you know, so, you know, she's saying they can get intimidated by that. And I think that's true. I think it's true. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, you should leave your woman behind it. I'm just simply saying I think what she's saying is valid. So Ms. Johnson says women that influence bad behavior in other women maybe avoid these type of friends or relatives. See, that's true. See, that's what we was talking about earlier. You know what I mean? That's something I don't hear people talk about. Other black women will tarnish who you are if they see that you are trying to be more traditional. I respect my man. I tell him where I'm going. I ask him, is it okay to do this, do that? Other black women will have a problem with it. And they'll try to change you. I've seen it happen 100 times. They'll try to change you.
Misery loves company.
Right. So she's saying maybe not deal with these women so much and the relatives. Because relatives do it too. You know, whenever I see a brother say he's in a relationship with his woman, and then he keep telling me like the type of problems they having. And don't be nothing serious, just be like along these lines. And then he'll end up saying, well, yeah, she only got one brother and she got 4 sisters. I'm like, see, that's the problem right there. You got to convince her to stop involving her sisters in her business, because that's what's going to keep her head filled with, because they're going to be over there like, you know, girl, you crazy. I wouldn't let it, you know, you know, right, all that type stuff. So what do we think about that? We think black men can be intimidated by that? Not feeling like he can, you know, give her what she wants?
For sure.
You know? Because, you know, women get very pressured by peer pressure. Like, y'all go through peer pressure that's a little different from us. You know, if women see 2 women get married, they looking at that man like, when we get married? Right? You know what I'm saying? She see 2 women get a new car, she looking at you like, ain't you tired of this car? So y'all into some...
Ain't you tired of it?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all into something a little different, you know? Ms. Glover says, giving what is needed should outweigh what is wanted. My opinion. Yeah, I like that. I like it. And thanks for participating with us today, Ms. Glover. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So the next attribute of a good black woman is cleanliness. Cleanliness.
Some of you broads.
Cleanliness.
That should just be a given. It shouldn't even be like
on the list.
All right.
Let's read. She says the good black woman is clean. She keeps the house clean. She cleans it. She's clean when it comes to her body. A lot of these things we take for granted, but everybody ain't clean. Some of our sisters don't have proper hygiene. She said people get mad when I say this as if it isn't true. That's what she said. She said people get mad at her when she says this as if it isn't true, right? She says we have too much falsehood and pretense going on about our condition. Every day dressed up ain't clean. That's just the truth. I'm quoting her. She said we must look at our condition in the light of truth. One of the hardest things to teach our people is the difference between an actual fact and an opinion. Now that is very true, right? She says our people think that they can accept or reject truth based on how they feel about it. Your feelings don't change the truth. You can feel however you want to feel about it. The truth is still just going to be there, no matter how you feel about it. These kind of emotions have kept us from growing, because anything that we don't like, we just reject. You saying, I don't believe that, don't change the truth. It just makes you a disbeliever.
True.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Cleanliness.
I don't believe no.
I don't believe that nonsense. Cleanliness. What we got on cleanliness?
You say you clean, you clean.
Yeah, she said she said all sisters ain't clean. And she said it's time for us to wake up to that reality. That thinking just because somebody dress nice, they look nice all the time, that they actually clean. She said it's not true. It's not true. And everybody isn't into cleaning their body properly. So, you know, I'm just a dude. So y'all got to help out on this. I'm just a dude.
It's the truth.
Is it the truth?
It's the truth.
So the average woman like knows of other women who are like not very clean, or?
The average? I don't know about that. I mean, that's a lot.
I mean, I know dudes that don't take baths for days.
You
but
can look at women who dress, you know, in the finest clothes and drive the finest car.
And just assume that they clean.
Go to their house and
it's a whole other story.
Whole other story.
You would just be shocked.
Okay. So, is this an attribute of a good black woman? She's clean.
Yes. I mean, you have to be clean. I mean,
I feel it's mandatory for me. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Yeah, that's mandatory for me.
I mean, to me, I feel like Samantha. I just feel like this is just a given. So, I mean, obviously, if she felt she had to put it on a list,
it must not be.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. Look, She says we have too much falsehood and pretense about our condition. So I think that's what she's referring to, the fact that we think that this should just be a given. Right. And she's saying it's not true. She's saying it's not true, and y'all know it ain't true. Yeah, you get what I mean? That's how she's coming at us. Like, y'all know this ain't true. We walk around and act like all black people clean, and they not. They not.
I mean, like I said, I can only speak on what I see, and I mean, I don't, like, as far as, you know, I see black women do keep themselves clean.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I can only speak on what I see.
I feel like black women have like a higher standard as far as cleanliness compared to every other race. So the fact that that's in there,
they should. And I think it was a time period where we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like a black woman's gonna make you clean. Like it's many of black people we grew up. You knew what Saturday was. You know what I mean? My mother used to wake us up with the music playing. You knew it then, man. You cleaned in the day. You cleaning, right? And you know, for a man, say like the house, that makes us feel good. You know what I mean? You come home from work and your woman then cleaned the house up, and like you almost don't want to dirty it up. Like I was gonna set my shoes on the floor, but I think I'll take them upstairs. You know, because you might get in trouble.
That's why this one is almost shocking to me, because with the black woman, that's what she loved to clean the most, herself in the house. So I'm a little shocked at this one.
Copy.
That was surprising.
Yeah, I used to think that was standard.
Yeah.
But she's saying it's not. She's saying we in falsehoods.
Damn.
This ain't standard.
We must be in falsehoods. I mean, no, I can't. So, I can't believe that about
you. You can't believe that? No. Okay, well we're gonna talk about this a little more.
And I understand what she said. You know, just because I feel that way doesn't mean it's true.
That's true. Stay with us. Black Body Man Radio Show. We are talking 7 attributes of a good black woman. We'll be back.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Be Exposed Radio.
It's a family affair if you want to look at it that way.
It is. I totally agree, and I believe I believe that this wisdom on the wall is going to be a movement, and that's what I believe we are doing. Is we're creating a movement where people essentially, even after we've presented in these workshops, then they'll be inspired to sort of document some of the things that they've gone through and empower somebody else. So it'll be like a chain effect. So they'll see that, you know, we were just 3 women who have gone through various things and experiences in our lives, and we just took the opportunity to sit down, put it in a book, and then it'll be a movement, and then other women will be inspired to do the same thing. Let me tell you, we are better together. We are so much better together, family. I'm telling you, when we band together, put our resources and our experiences together, we can create a movement, and that's what it's about, inspiring people to do more than what they may currently see of their own lives, that they can do so much more. So yeah,
you are exactly right.
The Inspired Radio Show. Tune in every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m.
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
So you're your biggest asset. You have to practice self-care. Every entrepreneur has to practice self-care. You have to release yourself from toxic situations.
Explain to us real quick, what is a toxic situation?
A toxic situation is something that will control your mind, something that hurts you, something that you have to battle. You know, toxic, you know, hurt. If you're in a toxic situation, if you get hurt, if you get pain, if you get struggle, right? And if your spirit does not align correctly, that may be a toxic situation. So when I say you make that jump when your values don't align, you make decisions based on your values. And if those decisions don't align with your values, then that's when you say no.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
So we was doing cleanliness. So I'll read a comment here. This is Miss Johnson. She says, there are women who don't practice proper hygiene. I think that if you are her friend, her sister, or her man, you should tell them. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I would rather know. Ladies, I agree.
I would rather know.
I'm going to tell you.
I think everybody.
You'll tell them. I'm telling. I'm telling. This just ain't going to work. It's not going to work. I think a woman, and I know I'm biased because I'm a man, right? But for me, a black woman should just, the scent of her should just do something to you as a man, you know, like you ain't got to be that close to her, you know, but y'all so beautiful, you know, mothers of the earth should always smell good. And when I say look good too, I don't even mean like dolled up. Like you'd be surprised what men find attractive, you know. For y'all, it's laundry day. You had to run to the store real quick, right? I just throw these jeans on, you know, these little sneakers, little shirt, you know, got her hair back in 2 braids, like you were saying, Miss Janice was saying. So for you thinking, you know, I'm just gonna run in real quick. And then the dude see you and he's like, man, she was beautiful. And she thinking, this ain't nothing.
I really throw it on.
You know, this ain't nothing. So yeah, I would have to say something. So I'll play the devil's advocate and flip it. If y'all had a male friend whose hygiene was in question, would you tell him? Yeah? Would you tell him? I know, Nate, that answer wasn't that strong, was it? Y'all would tell him?
Yes. Well, in my personal case, I wouldn't even deal with somebody that's not...
Oh, you just letting that go?
Yeah.
Because you're going to find out about it pretty early in the game,
No, I'm
right?
saying, like, as you get to know somebody, I'm pretty sure you're going to be around them in their space and you're going to know what their habits are before y'all even get that far down the line.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can't be laid up with somebody that's dirty.
Oh, no. I'm thinking you just talking about, like, you know, like your man, like, you know, your man can go to the gym sometimes and come back and, you know, he might make a couple of extra earnings before he actually hit the shower. You might have to tell him he might got to go in the shower first.
Right. It's real easy for dudes to stink.
Right.
It's real easy.
That's like a manly attribute, isn't it? Like, y'all get to sweating and working and you're gonna stink. That's a manly thing, but I think it's more acceptable for a man to, you know, have those moments, but for a woman,
it seems like for women, they just want to see that look just for a second. So he come home, he's sweaty, and she just looking like, okay, I see you been working hard, baby. I'm good. Now go take a shower. You know what I'm saying? I seen it. I like it. Now go get the shower. Clean it up, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think I can tolerate that either. You know? But you know, they say love make you do strange things.
Not that strange.
Somebody's in love with a stinking man. So overall, do we think cleanliness is a problem? Is this a good attribute?
Yes.
I think it's a wonderful attribute. You know? Is it common?
That's hard.
I just don't think it's common, but I think it's a good attribute. But
You said it's hard.
It's hard to say if it's common or not. Just
It used to be.
I've never, well, I say that I never, but
It used to be common. It did. Like there was a time where black women would frown upon another black woman if she came to her house and the house wasn't clean. You get what I mean? They walk away talk real bad about you. You know, because they were looking at you like you're not being an upstanding woman. Like, what you expect him to clean the house, right? You know, even though, of course, I clean, but I'm just saying, you know, there was a time. I think that's changed, you know, especially with black women being so active in the weekday workforce. So you got women coming home from work just like him. Like, I ain't cleaning shit. You know, man, get them kids to do some cleaning. I just got off work. But she says cleanliness is one of them. So that's one of the attributes. So let's move on. Love. The good black woman has non-possessive love. Oh boy.
What does that mean?
Non-possessive love? That means a good black woman doesn't have the type of love where she wants to know everything and everywhere her man is at for every hour of the day. And a lot of black women are like that.
Really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So she says that's a tall order for black women, and that this is not easy for black women to practice. Non-possessive love. Because you know black women are very, very possessive. They're very possessive. I see y'all got a little quiet on that one.
So I can't relate.
You can't relate? Nice. Don't be like that. No. You know what I mean? Don't be like that. Because all it does is cause problems. But black women are known for being that way. You know, and go ahead.
I think with Sam not relating, that's not a big deal, because normally I think women over time get possessive.
After dealing with like a lot of, I can see that.
Yeah, I think it's just something that comes over time. I don't think it's something you get when you're young and you just start dating and it just become possessive over time. That's just my opinion.
Right. So what do you think happens over time, in your opinion?
I don't know. They could have been hurt by a few men.
True.
And just, I don't know, a lot of women, they get possessive sometimes when they've been cheated on a lot.
True.
And
True.
So
some of it's reaction.
Protect themselves, knowing your whereabouts.
Nate said, y'all are a little quiet and slow to answer things today. I peeped that too, Nate. Moving a little slow.
Okay, we'll have a lot to say on the next one.
You got a lot to say? I expected y'all to kill it today. No?
We're going to kill it when they're sitting up here talking about the black woman.
But it's another black woman that's saying it. And she's saying it out of love.
Right. I can respect what she's saying.
Right.
It's valid points.
Okay.
Well, you thought we were going to come in here and argue. That's what the thing was.
Come on, this BBB. Y'all know we don't even do that.
Like, oh, no, that's not the case.
Now that would have been fun.
Yeah, but
black women, they don't mind owning up to this.
Do they have possessive love?
I've seen it.
Okay. She's seen it on television, everybody. She's seen it.
I think it's out there.
I think a lot of black women have possessive love. And I think it has a lot to do with some of the things Janice said about previous relationships being hurt. But I don't think that's the biggest factor.
What is the biggest factor?
Insecurity.
Ooh.
Insecurity.
They got the right one.
Insecurity. The black man, when he has a black woman, every day he has to fight against her mind. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Her mind is going to come up with all kinds of stuff. And he's going to be in trouble from what she's thinking in her mind. So he has to dispel it every day. So if you go back to what she said earlier, right? I'm just telling you, right? So you go back to what she said earlier. This is what she was talking about when she said the black man doesn't have time to plan or build a future because he has to constantly deal with the black woman's insecurities and build her up, you know, because every day she gets tore down by her own emotional distress. And of course, this is not everybody. This is just the ones we're talking about. So he's constantly repairing that. He's constantly reassuring her, no, as the first time I seen her, she's just a coat check lady. This is my homeboy texting me. See, so that's the black woman's insecurities. And I get it. You know what I mean? Like, women are emotional. You know, y'all brain works a little different from ours. Like a man's brain is straight line. You know what I'm saying? So if we trying to get something done, we just straight line to it. Y'all have different paths, different connectors, goes in circles, loops, comes forward. It ends up at the same spot that the men were at. Totally different way of getting there, though. You get what I'm saying? I mean, like, I think shopping's like a good example. You know, a man goes shopping, he see the shoes he want, they're $189. He seen them 3 weeks ago, he coming back to get them. He's gonna buy them. The woman, when she saw them shoes for $189, she checked every other store, right, in the mall. She went home that night, got online, you know, so brains just work a little different. And a lot of times in that case, she actually wins because we should have shopped around, right? But I'm just showing, you know, the path, the connections.
Well, before you leave that, when you say, like, the brains just work a little different, like, yeah, the brains work a little different. I mean, with black women, you know, black women know black women.
True.
So a lot of that possessiveness could be coming over that fact too.
She ain't worried about him, she worried about them.
Okay, so
I understand what we say, deal with the insecurities and everything, but you know, this goes back to all the half-naked women that's out there, and then this goes back to all the women with no self-respect and discipline who's out there trying to get whatever they can, whenever. I mean,
so a black woman's insecurities can be coming from the promiscuousness of other black women. Or better yet, just other women, period, right? Okay.
So even when she becomes possessive, I mean, of course in her mind, maybe at the time she's not seeing it as that.
Right.
I mean, of course that's what it is, but you know, she's seeing a lot of other things.
Right.
Maybe she thinks that her black man isn't aware of. And maybe she feel like she has to remind him every 2 seconds.
Okay. That's good explanation. It's good explanation. Good explanation. Okay, so that plays a factor in it as well. So he's gonna have to deal with.
But it can become a problem for the black man.
It's definitely a problem for us. So look, I'll tell you the perspective of the black man. For us, like, you're acting like my mother, and we don't like that. We grew up our whole life with our mother doing that. You know what I'm saying? You're acting like my mother. Right, I'm with you, Nate, right? Because black women have 2 modes. They have mother and wife. Now, there's subcategories under there, stepmother, girlfriend, but still it's mother and wife. So with a lot of men, if you start doing certain things, his mind is she acts like she's my mother, you know, and it's kind of stripping our manhood away. I can't even get off work and get home an hour later instead of 20 minutes later without having to explain to my woman, why wasn't you here at 4:30? You got off 4 o'clock.
22 minutes for you to work.
Right. You get what I'm right. You get what I'm saying?
That's explaining to do.
You get what I'm saying? So as a man, I feel like that's just gonna be something common when you deal with a black woman. It's your job as a man to check that, you know, to say, listen, this is something I'm not going to tolerate, you know, and that's any side of a relationship. I think in a relationship, you have to figure out the worst thing about your partner, the worst thing you dislike about him, and the worst thing that he dislike about you. And then y'all have to decide, can you tolerate that? Because that person may not change that. So if you can't tolerate that, you can't be agreeable, might be time to move forward. But non-possessive love is important. It literally works the exact opposite of possessive love. Because when a woman has possessive love, and I'm not justifying this, I'm just telling you how men think, he'll end up cheating. And what he's going to say is, she thinks I cheat all the time anyway. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I might as well go ahead, you know, because I haven't, and I get accused of it 6 times a month, right? Whereas the woman who is not being possessive like that, it could spark the exact opposite. He could say, you know what, bro, I'm not even going to do it, man, because my woman trusts me. She don't be, you know what I mean, harassing me, and I'm not even going to open this Pandora's box, because once this pop off, you know, it might not stop. So that's my take on it from the man's perspective. Possessive love. I'll read on. She says, I tell brothers and sisters that if you are with someone that you feel you've been working with and it just isn't working out, or they can't get with your program, then get another who will. If you can't agree with that person, then get someone you can agree with. Don't stay and make someone else's life miserable. We spend too much time tearing each other down. If you want that man to change, first change yourself. Ooh, that was deep. That was deep. How y'all feel about that? If you want him to change, first change yourself.
I feel like they just been picking on black women all day, but on that
black women picking on black women.
On that statement right there where it's saying first change, I guess.
And well, it does kind of fit in with what I just said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of fits in with that.
I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what about if you feel like you've been working with somebody in this relationship and they just not being agreeable? You understand what I mean? Cut your losses.
Yeah.
Go get with somebody you're agreeable with.
Nobody trying to do that.
He said, that's just some book talk, huh? Sisters is looking at it like, no, he gonna get right.
Right.
He gonna get right.
Every woman wants to be the one to change that man and make him do right and love her the way that she wants him to. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Nobody trying to hear that?
They put too much time and effort into that one.
Okay. Miss Janice, what's your take on that? If it ain't working out, he can't get with the program, cut your losses. Copy.
I guess.
Okay.
It depends.
Right.
I mean, I guess it just depends. It's different circumstances. It depends on the man. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, some women love their men, so they might be like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I think a lot of black women do stick around in relationships they're not happy with.
Yeah.
So for the ladies out there, cut your losses. Don't stick around. Same with the fellas. Cut your losses, right? If it's not working, it's not working. This is what I want to say to black women who do have possessive love. All you're doing is stressing yourself out. Nobody can stop anybody from doing something they want to do.
True.
If your man wants to cheat, he's going to cheat. If your girl wants to cheat, she going to cheat. All that possessiveness, all you doing is making them be more clever about the way they do it. So that's Brother Mike's motivational minute. We'll be doing more of those on the show. All right, so the last one is cheerfulness. The good black woman is cheerful. She takes joy in supporting her man and being pleasant when around him. She doesn't pollute the air when she's in the presence of him or other people. She's happy for him when he's happy, and she strives to make him happy. She knows that he does the same for her. She's his cheerleader. She won't let someone else's unpleasantness change her cheerfulness.
That's the easy one.
That's an easy one. So we'll go on that.
Yes.
We'll go on that. Okay, all right. Well, that's going to do it. I'm going to hit you with the closing remarks, though, right? And this is her remarks. She says, the effectiveness of these principles discussed does not diminish just because modern opinions have changed about them. Remember, the rules that are supported by modern day opinions are not being created by us. These rules, opinions, and attitudes are being imposed by someone else who is making us believe that we must qualify under them. And that's exactly what I've been saying all along, Western civilization. Thanks for tuning in with us, everybody. DVD Radio Show co-host, the lovely Miss Denise, Miss Samantha Glenn by Sam. I'm Brother Mike. I'll catch you on the flip side. It's the black side. Peace.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?